Gold sports medal the Queen of Speed, celebrating the farewell of the most decorated female sprinter glowing star, 3 Olympic golds, 10 world titles. The last lap. The stadium lights burned bright. Tens of thousands of fans leaned forward in unison, waiting, holding their breath. On the track stood the woman who had defined an era, the one they called the Queen of Speed. Her spikes pressed against the blocks one final time. A hush fell across the crowd. Cameras flashed. Banners waved. Emotions flooded the air. For 2 decades, she had been the heartbeat of sprinting, 3 Olympic golds, 10 world titles, countless records, and countless moments of magic. But tonight, under the floodlights, she wasn't just running a race. She was writing the last sentence of a story that had changed the sport forever. And as the starter raised the gun, the world realized, this was more than a farewell. This was the end of an era. The spark that started the fire. Every legend has an origin story, and hers was no different. She wasn't born into privilege. She wasn't handed her destiny. She carved it, step by step, sprint by sprint. As a child, she was fast, blindingly fast. Neighbors would whisper about the girl who could outrun the boys on the dusty streets. Coaches saw potential, but what set her apart wasn't just raw speed. It was hunger. She trained when others rested. She chased goals bigger than medals, the dream of proving that she could be more than a prodigy, that she could be a phenomenon. By her teenage years, the world had already begun to notice. She wasn't just running to win. She was running to announce herself. The breakthrough, first Olympic gold. The first Olympic Games she entered were a baptism of fire. She was young, untested, and facing a field of veterans. Pundits predicted she might reach the finals but gave her little chance of climbing the podium. They were wrong. When the gun fired, she exploded out of the blocks like lightning, each stride a declaration of intent. By 60 meters, she was level with the favorites. By 80, she was ahead. And by the finish line, she had shocked the world. Olympic gold. A teenager had conquered giants. That night, headlines declared, "A star is born." But those who knew her best understood, this was no birth. This was the unveiling of years of sacrifice, discipline, and grit. The reign of a queen. What followed was dominance on a scale rarely seen in athletics. Over the next decade, she collected titles with relentless consistency. Olympic Games, 3 golds. A triple crown that placed her in the pantheon of greats. World Championships, 10 titles. She became the benchmark, the target every sprinter studied, the shadow they chased but could not catch. Her technique was flawless. Her starts were explosive. Her drive phase was poetry in motion. And her top-end speed, untouchable. In race after race, she became the embodiment of excellence. Stadiums erupted when she entered. Commentators ran out of superlatives. Competitors bowed in respect. Rivalries that defined an era. Every queen needs challengers, and she had plenty. Rivals from Jamaica, the USA, and beyond lined up, determined to dethrone her. There were iconic duels, finals where the difference was a mere hundredth of a second. Moments where the crowd couldn't breathe until the photo finish flashed on the big screen. But time and again, she prevailed. Sometimes by dominance, sometimes by heart-stopping margins. Each rivalry elevated her, sharpened her, and reminded the world why she was different. And while others came and went, she remained steady, supreme, unstoppable. The human behind the medals. To call her just a sprinter would be to diminish her. Behind the medals lay sacrifice. Early mornings. Grueling training sessions. Injuries that threatened to derail her career. The heartbreak of setbacks. The scrutiny of the world's gaze. She wasn't a machine. She was a woman who carried the weight of expectation with grace. She showed the world that champions are not superheroes, they are humans who refuse to break. And perhaps that is why fans adored her so deeply. She wasn't just admired for her speed. She was loved for her authenticity. Beyond the track, a global icon. Her impact stretched far beyond lanes and finish lines. For women in sport, she became a symbol of possibility, inspiring millions of young girls to believe that greatness wasn't reserved for others. For her country, Every medal she won was draped in her nation's flag, every podium moment a celebration of national pride. For the world, she showed that excellence knows no borders, no limits, no stereotypes. Brands wanted her. Documentaries featured her. Universities studied her mindset. She wasn't just a sprinter. She was a global icon. The farewell season. But even queens must face time. By 2025, whispers of retirement had grown louder. Fans knew it was coming. She knew it too. Yet she didn't fade away quietly. Her farewell season was a victory lap, one last chance to hear the cheers, to feel the adrenaline, to leave a mark one final time. Every meet she entered sold out. Every race became a celebration. Fans didn't just watch her run, they thanked her with their presence, their tears, their chants. And when she announced her final race at the World Championships, the world circled the date. The last race. The atmosphere was surreal. It wasn't about whether she would win. It was about witnessing history. The gun fired. She launched. The crowd roared. For 10.8 seconds, the world stopped. Her legs churned, her arms pumped, and the clock ticked. And as she crossed the finish line, it didn't matter whether she won gold, silver, or bronze. What mattered was that she had run one final time and given her all. The stadium stood. Fans wept. Her competitors embraced her. And she raised her hands, not in victory, but in gratitude. It was over. And yet, it would never be over. Legacy of a legend. How does one measure a legacy like hers? By medals. 3 Olympic golds, 10 world titles, a resume unmatched. By records. Numerous national and world records shattered. By influence. A generation inspired, barriers broken, a sport elevated. But perhaps the greatest measure is this: she changed the way people felt. She made them believe in speed, in possibility, in the magic of the human spirit. Passing the torch. As she steps away, the sport does not dim. Instead, it burns brighter because of her. The young sprinters she once raced against now speak of her as an idol. Girls around the world lace up their spikes because they saw her do it first. Her legacy is not an ending, but a beginning for all those she inspired to chase the wind. Conclusion: long live the Queen. On her final lap, she proved something profound. Greatness is not defined by medals alone, but by the impact one leaves behind. She was more than the fastest woman alive. She was a pioneer, a warrior, a beacon of hope. The Queen of Speed may have run her last race, but her reign will echo forever in the hearts of fans, in the annals of history, and in the dreams of every child who dares to run. And as the stadium lights dimmed on her farewell, one truth remained undeniable. Legends don't retire. They live forever. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.